Hi, are you having trouble with vocabulary? Does this unit and part of your English class just seem overwhelming? Well, hopefully this class connect will help you feel a little bit better about what's going on with vocabulary. First of all, it's really important that you make some tools for yourself so you're able to succeed. Making flashcards of the unit words is a great way to learn them. Write the word on one side and then flip it over and put the definition on the other, and then you can quiz yourself. It's also helpful to group words together by their Latin roots. And if you haven't started a vocabulary, you're going to be thinking, what, a Latin root? But each vocabulary list has at least 3 different roots, I think, and there's certain words that go with those. So if you group them together, you really learn their common meanings. Also, just writing them down and making the list of the words really helps solidify them in your brain. So instead of just reading them, now you're reading them and writing them. This gives your brain 2 different ways to learn. The more ways you're learning, the better. So here's an example of how you can make the common root list. This is from Vocabulary Unit 1. We have the per words. This is that Latin root I was talking about. And all of the words have something to do with the word, or the meaning through. We have our second Latin roots, which is all of them are kind of the same thing, and they all mean to bring, bear, or carry. So all these words have common definitions. Then we have our third root. All these kind of mean the same thing, and all the words are going to mean something about stretching or to stretch. This way you group words in common places and you're going to start hearing these Latin roots like per and fere and tendere, and you're really going to learn the words. You can also, like I said, just make a list. Write out all the words and then write the definitions. Don't you love my preschool Charlie Brown style writing? Just doing this, as I said before, gives your brain another way of writing. This also gives you a helpful way to memorize them. So you can do is kind of draw a square and block out the definitions and then kind of slowly shrink it back. As you do each one, you can kind of, okay, oh yes, I got defer right. Okay, I got dilatory right. I got elation. And this gives yourself a tool to quiz yourself. Or do the opposite thing and cover the words and leave the definitions over here. Either way, you're learning the words, and that's what we want to see. In each unit in your vocabulary, they're going to ask you, most of your units in vocabulary, about a synonym for each word and an antonym for each word. Just remember this. Synonym means similar or the same meaning. It has that S sound at the beginning. So you're looking for a word that means the same as your word. Antonym means opposite. What is the antagonist of your word? The enemy of your word. If I'm saying the word good and you're thinking opposite, you would say the word bad or evil or awful, something opposite of good. So here's an example of it. An annual contention for the trophy. I'm looking for a synonym of this word. We have longing, rivalry, hope, vanguard, or perseverance. Something similar to contention, you'll learn this in Unit 1, does mean rivalry. What about to permeate? I'm looking for another synonym here. Does it mean to cover the soil, exist in the soil, eliminate, contaminate, or penetrate the soil? When you learn about this Latin root of per, it means to go through. So if you're going to penetrate or permeate the soil, probably you're going to plant a seed, you're going to go through the soil. So remember, synonym means similar, antonym means opposite. Then this is kind of a tricky exercise. What they'll do is they'll give you 4 examples of the same word used. 3 are going to be correct and 1 is going to be wrong. Your job is to find the one that's wrong. This is helpful if you use the context clues. Look at the words around your vocabulary word to figure out what it means. Refusing to defer, apologize for the deference, a basic courtesy is difference of youth to age. So use those context clues to figure out what each way deference is being used. You can go ahead and pause it right now and try to figure out which one it is, if you know what deference means. Actually, C is the incorrect one. So that's the That's the hardest part about vocabulary, is figuring out which way it's used incorrectly. So I want you to follow these steps for each unit. If you're writing out the Latin roots, the definitions, flashcards, whatever you choose, you are going to succeed. And review those lists and flashcards before you take each and every assessment. This will keep you from taking those assessments 3 and 4 times. Check for more vocabulary help sessions throughout the year. They will show up on your Class Connect sessions. And also just email me and let me know, hey, Mrs. Ryland, this is really helpful. Or Mrs. Ryland, I need more help with vocabulary. It's totally overwhelming. If you're communicating with me, I can certainly help you through these. So thanks for watching on YouTube tonight, or this morning or afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. And I hope it was helpful to you. Have a good day.